Hi everybody, welcome back. In this video we're going to be talking about the rendering section, more specifically the Light Explorer. So let's just get started. So this Light Explorer is just a quick way to check out all your lights, your 2D lights, your reflection probes, your light probes, and static emissives. So let's add some lights. We're going to add one of each just so you guys can see what this kind of does. There's one of each, so you could change the type of one you want. So if you don't want this to be an area light no more, you could change it to a spot, directional, point. That works for all of these. You could also enable and disable. So I'm going to disable the directional light. And as you can see, it makes it dark. You could also change the shape of the area lights to rectangle or disc, circular. You could also change between on the spotlight, point light, and directional light if you want a real-time mixed or bake. If we go to these are pretty much already the settings that we have. So here's the mode. You could change it. Instead of going to each one, you could have your name, the name of it. So let's change the name, this one, to let's say like sunlight, and it gets updated as soon as you leave the inspector. You could also change the color right here as well. So if you wanted a different color, you could change the intensity if you wanted it more intense. Also the indirect multiplier. For the area light, you could disable or enable shadows, and for the rest you could add hard shadows, soft shadows, or no shadows. So let's get a little example of what that is. Sorry for this looking a little green. I actually had generated lighting, so let me generate lighting again, and that might take a while, so we'll just keep going. But the reason it's green is because later on I'm going to show you what these static emissives are. So for the soft shadows, like I said, you could change it to hard or to no shadows, and it will update right away. Now there's also 2D lights. 2D lights, oh, there's also right here, show inactive objects. So let's say we turn off this point light, and now you don't see the point light at all. But if you click show inactive objects, you'll be able to see the point light. There's also isolate selection. So if you isolate selection, whatever you have selected, it will get isolated. It will only show that one. There's 2D lights. 2D lights, you could, I can't really show you because I'm in a 3D project, but you could pretty much enable them, disable them. You'll have the name just like this one, the name of them. You'll also have the type, so the different types of lights that are available for 2D. You could change the color of the lights, the sprite type of the lights. You could also change the intensity, the fall off, and fall off strength. You could also target sorting layer. So in 2D you have sorting layers. You could also increase or decrease the shadow strength and enable or disable the shadow. Now for reflection probes, we're going to add a reflection probe. So here's the reflection probe as well, just like the lights, it shows up. And the same thing with this, you could isolate, you could show inactive objects, and there's our tree, it turned back to white. Reflection probe, you could change the mode, same thing as right here in the inspector. So you could change the mode between those. You could have infinite projection or box, and that would be the same over here. So where it says box projection, it would be the same thing. You could change the shadow distance, the near plane, and the far plane. And these are all just right here in the inspector, but this is an easy way of going through just the specific type of things you want to look for. So the lights, reflection probes, light probes, static emissives. There's also light probes, so if we add a light probe, and this will just allow you to enable and disable them. Now for static emissives, we're going to actually create a cube, and this cube we're going to move it over here, bring it up a bit, and we're going to add a material to this cube. So just create material, and we're just going to call it emissive. And then down here, if you see, we do not see the emissive at all, the static emissive. So if I hit emission, you still won't be able to see it. But if you go to the cube and you hit static, it pops up, and you can have it baked or real time. And then you could also change the color. So we'll just have it like a green color and, increase it. And if we go to our emissive material, you can see the color was changed. And right now it's at real time. But for this, we're going to have it at baked, and we are going to add our light probe group. So we're going to kind of edit this real quick, just so it covers both the tree and the cube. Let's kind of edit this real quick. Actually, let's move it like this. That should cover most of it. There you go. For some reason it wasn't working, but now it's working. And if we go to our rendering, lighting, and add a new lighting settings. So this is something you have to have, is the lighting settings. And you go down and you actually generate lighting. This might take a little minute, but as you can see, the tree turned green. Now let's say I move it a little back and I cancel and I generate lighting again. See, it takes a little while, and it might do some weird stuff like this, but just know that it's because it's baking. As you can see, it turns into this green tree, but it's still actually doing its magic, so give it a minute. As you can see, it actually bakes it, and if we go to our light probe group, we can see that it is actually working. If we actually change the static emissives to be something smaller, let's say like on the 0.6, and we generate lighting once again, and this process does take a while, so you just gotta pretty much bear with it. It is done, and as you can see, there is a little green still on the tree. It is not 100% white. See that it is a different color. We could also change it, maybe show it differently, and of course we gotta bake it once again. Yeah, so you are able to see that little green over here. You can see that there's these white leaves. They didn't really turn green, and that's pretty much because of the light probe group. As you can see, it is not covering these leaves. It is only covering pretty much this section of the tree, and once it is done generating light, you should be able to see the little difference, at least on this part of the tree. Let me actually turn off gizmos, and as you can see, it turned into that little red hue. And yeah, that's pretty much it for this video of the Light Explorer. This is just a way of checking out all your lights, and if you guys enjoyed this video, or if you guys learned anything new, please hit that like button. Also, if you want to continue seeing more videos like this, do not forget to hit that subscribe button. Once again, thank you guys.